Hello! Welcome to the showcase of the digital unit plan titled Effects of Ocean Pollution. This is a unit plan for 9th through 10th grade biology students. As students progress through the unit, they will be reflecting on the essential question, the driving question, how does ocean pollution affect my health? In this unit, students will learn about different types of ocean pollution and what effect they have on marine life and the species that consume marine life. They'll investigate how trash and contaminants make their way to the ocean from land and then start to ask questions about what happens to the pollution once it's there. Students will discover the way toxins are accumulated and magnified as they flow through the marine ecosystem food web. Finally, they will design a program that will draw awareness to this global environmental issue. 3 of the next generation science standards are the basis of this unit, with the big ideas centering on important questions such as what are the different sources of ocean pollution? What role do humans play in contributing to ocean pollution? How does ocean pollution impact biodiversity of marine life? What happens to toxins when they're ingested by marine organisms? And how does the toxins in the food web affect humans? And finally, how can the students participate in preventing or reducing ocean pollution? The student learning objectives focus on answering these questions. Students will be able to determine some of the causes, effects, and solutions of ocean pollution. Students will be able to identify one of the methods pollution enters the ocean and marine food web. Students will be able to make conclusions about how pollution affects marine biodiversity and human health. And students will be able to develop or refine a program to draw awareness to, reduce, or rid of ocean pollution. So then we'll go to our unit plan tab. So this is the summary, the unit tab, the digital unit plan template with a summary of everything that is in this website, in this digital unit plan. So we have the content standards, the big ideas and unit goals, a summary of the unit plan, the assessments, descriptions of those, and finally the unit resources and the useful websites and all of the websites that I used to collect the information about ocean pollution and advocacy campaigns for this unit are found in this Live Binders link. So then we'll move over to the assessment page. This is the assessment map and summary of the entry-level, formative, and summative assessments for this unit plan. And we will discuss those a little bit more in detail here. So the entry-level assessments are the first, the first thing students will do a brainstorm about anything and everything they already know about ocean pollution and create a mind map with the words ocean pollution in the middle. This will be discussed in groups and as a class. Students will then get to play a matching game on Quizlet, where they'll get to see how fast they can match the term with the correct definition. So they're going to see the terms and the definition, the contamination of the world's ocean pollution. So that's fun. Next thing they're going to do is they're going to have formative assessments. That's going to include students completing a graphic organizer, filling in guided notes to go along with teacher lecture, a Weber-size activity, and finally making a podcast. They'll create a 3 to 5 minute podcast discussing the effects and possible solutions of the type of ocean pollution that they have actually already selected for their final project. And as a sample of a podcast I actually made. For their summative assessments for this unit, students will create a campaign strategy that will raise awareness, help to reduce, or work to removing ocean pollution. Finally, students will create a 5-minute or less video or presentation of how they developed their campaign, briefly describing each step using a web-based presentation tool. This is the directions for the Ocean Pollution Advocacy Campaign. They'll be creating. They will determine how they will communicate their goals to the public by creating a website, a blog, a video, or print. They'll be describing 4 problems that occur because of this type of ocean pollution and 4 possible solutions. They'll be describing an activity or program that will work to help with reducing or ridding of that type of ocean pollution. And they will have at least 4 quality sources. Eventually, they're going to be engaging policymakers by writing letters to elected officials describing their cause and how they might be able to be a part of it. I included a letter template for them for the students to have if they want to use a template to create that letter. I also included the rubric for the step 2 portion of this assessment. The graphic organizer tab includes one of the formative assessments the students will be completing. They will be creating a graphic organizer using the online tool Poplet. They will be selecting 2 types of ocean pollution from the resources, these 2 articles, floating junkyard and storm water runoff. They'll be reading these 2 in groups, and then they'll be watching these 2 videos. And then they will be picking 2 types of ocean pollutions and find 3 examples of each cause, effect, and solution of those 2 types. And they will also be creating, they'll need to find a picture, and they'll need to find, they'll need to come up with 5 questions to their cause and effect. So here's my example with a picture in the center representing ocean pollution. My 2 types are plastics and toxic runoff. And then each cause, effect, and solution will have 3 examples. And the rubric to go along with that activity. Make sure that the design, components, examples, and mechanics are aligned. They also have a Poplet tutorial and a Poplet website to go to from this page. The next formative assessment the students will be completing is a teacher lecture with guided notes. So the students will follow along and participate with a lecture. They'll be answering questions, speaking in groups, following along, and as they are following along, they will be able to find the information that will answer the questions for these guided notes questions. The pictures correspond to the slide that they can find the answers on. The students will be making lists, drawing pictures, filling in the blanks, starting to think about how does this matter, why does this matter to humans, and how does it affect us? How does it affect our health? So the final activity that the students will be completing is the Webercise activity. And this is where the students will be able to go to the specific designated websites in order to answer questions on the worksheet. So for example, they go to this website, and this will allow them to answer those questions that are on right below it. So the students will be making lists and playing interactive games. They'll be reviewing ways to save the ocean and explaining how they can help reduce ocean pollution. They will start to, these questions kind of start to promote higher order thinking skills as they go down. They'll be analyzing diagrams. They'll be proposing a solution to prevent microplastics from entering the ocean. And finally, they will be getting the information and knowledge of how to start their advocacy campaign. So they're going to investigate why they should do the program and the reasons that are important to them. And finally, they will be selecting the goal and their message of their campaign. On the next tab in the digital unit plan is the unit resources. So these are resources the students will be able to use to collect data for their ocean pollution advocacy campaign. Like this site, the NOAA, is very important for all the information and steps involved in their campaign. Learning about plastic trash, water pollution, tips of how to combat ocean water pollution, marine litter solutions, and also to investigate the challenges and steps forward our government is taking on developing programs to prevent and raise awareness to ocean pollution. There's a few activities and study materials for the students to explore. HHMI Biointeractive is a good one with a very big array of different interactive, engaging activities for the students. Quizlet is another good one to play games. We saw that earlier in the presentation. Another game to clean up plastic waste in this virtual ocean is kind of fun. And the Surfrider Foundation are local chapters where you can actually, students can go here and check the beach cleanup schedule, and they can sign up to be part of cleaning up our local beaches. There is a couple of fun videos for the students to watch. And the last one is, of course, the link back to the class page, Science with Mrs. Richard. So that's the digital unit plan titled Effects of Ocean Pollution. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'm excited to hear from you, and I'm excited to have the students learning about all the different effects of ocean pollution. Thank you.